At Toani-Kope, an island situated at Ada in the Greater Accra region, majority of the inhabitants are idol worshippers. The community is also bedeviled with lack of basic amenities, but the Pentecost International Worship Center, PIWC Sakumono in Accra, is helping change the narrative. The church has embarked on an evangelism outreach to introduce the love and power of Jesus Christ to the community, the hope of a great transformation.
Toani-Kope Island is located in Ada in the Greater Accra region with a population of about 700 people. The predominant occupations of the people are farming and fishing. This is a small village surrounded by water called the Lake Volta, which happens to be the largest reservoir in the world. It extends from Akusombo Dam, which generates electricity and also provides inland transport and valuable resources for irrigation and fish farming in southeastern Ghana. Oysters are mostly fished from this lake and only sold in few markets around the country due to lack of proper processing and preservation. Oysters are very valuable economically, not only for their meat, but their shells as well.
So these are oyster shells. I hear there are lots of uses for them.
I can pure PENT. I can have coin. I can pure plate, grass plate, and any I can pure column.
The island has some of the beautiful resorts in Ghana. Despite the economic contribution the Toani-Kope Island offers to Ghana, the community lacks very basic amenities such as decent schools and a hospital. The only school in the island, which is in a deplorable state, is accessible by canoes, which is deemed a hazard considering the depth of the lake.
The children, they suffer before they come to school. They suffer.
So assuming there are children, school children, and then it starts raining, do they have to go home?
They have to go home because some of the school buildings, some places they are not good. So some places, some rooms they are good, but some they are not good. We don't have clinic here.
So when somebody is seriously sick and you need to take them to the hospital, what do you do?
If you want to go to clinic, you go to Toani-Kope. We just cross the river.
How about the pregnant women? Pregnant women?
They too, they go to Toani-Kope. Sometimes they transfer them to Kope. We just need the clinic. We need clinic. They just go to the city to rest.
A pregnant woman who was reportedly in labor lost her life whilst commuting on the lake to seek medical attention in the surrounding community.
One Mavis, she was pregnant and actually she's about to get a birth or labor. She's on a labor. So we are crossing her to the other village, which is Toani-Kope, so that she can give birth. But actually on the way, she died with the baby. So we are always saying it. So if they can do something about that for us, so that thing can stop. So I'm giving this appeal to the government. If they can do something about it, especially the cheap compound or clinic for the village, so that it can help us stop from that deaths and things. So that if you are crossing the women to the other village to give better, it can make stop to that. Because some people, they normally die on the way. So we are appealing to the government to do something about that for us. And other stakeholders like the NGOs, we want them to help us if they can do something about that for us.
Earlier this week, a 33-member team from the PIWC Sakumono Accra embarked on a day evangelism and medical outreach to the island in a bid to impact the community positively and significantly. The Toani-Kope Island, which is largely made up of idol worshippers, is yet to see the presence of a church building in the community. At the entry of the village are visibly displayed objects of worship mounted on walls on the compounds of the indigents.
we know that the glory of God will be revealed. By the time we leave here, God's power and God's presence will be revealed, and Toani-Kope will be taken for Christ.
The Church of Pentecost, poised to take the nations for Christ, first established their presence on the island some 2 years ago. But it hasn't been without some challenges, which is hindering the growth of the church here. Prominent amongst them are language and cultural barriers, as well as transportation issues. Made up of 31 members comprising 7 adults and 24 children, the small-sized congregation holds church services in the residence of one of the 2 elders here at Toani-Kope.
By the grace of God, things are moving on well. Our biggest challenge, the people are more into adult worship. And so for them accepting the gospel is a little bit difficult. The elderly want their children to come to church, but they themselves find it difficult. But we are still praying to God. He is the owner of the church. And so we are trusting the Lord that by His grace, gradually some of them are coming to accept Christ.